Back again with a really short segment. Thank you so much for tuning in last week to the networking video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed making it, and the Africa Centre. People, check them out. I'm so excited for our event on the 7th of December, 5:30 p.m. Africa on the Rise, mental health. Take it in. The role of the African diaspora in challenging the stigma of mental health in Africa. It's such a necessary topic and something that it's okay, people are saying it's like a buzz thing that needs to be, that people are speaking about all the time now, and that can only be positive. So I don't mind jumping right on that wave because it's definitely something that we need to talk about. And literally every video from now I am going to be reminding you to get your tickets. Sorry, that was a bit aggressive, I'm actually quite sorry. I'm going to be reminding you to buy your tickets for Africa on the Rise, mental health. It's going to be an amazing evening. Opening up as well, so in a few weeks we'll be accepting your tweets, we'll be taking them in, we'll be opening, the link will come somewhere, so you guys can put out the questions that you want addressed before the event actually happens. So even though it's a panel discussion, it is for all of us. We want it to be as interactive as possible. So Africa on the Rise, mental health, the 7th of December. Remember. So, in addition to what we spoke about last week, you really do need to know, okay, you're networking, you've gone to these events, you've done this, you've met this person. Now what? You've collected a stack, a ring binder full of business cards. Now what? You added them on LinkedIn. Now what? You have their email address. Now what? You need to turn these relationships into results. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I met this minister and it was so great and I spoke to him and it was just a wonderful, like, no honey, no one cares and no one is going to remember you. Like, I actually hate to be the one to give you the God's honest truth, but no one's going to remember you unless you get in there straight away. Even 3 days after you've met someone, to now be messaging them and say, it was lovely to have met you 3 days ago, you might be lucky to get a reply. You really might be, especially if these are important people, because you need to get home straight away and send that message, because you know how good it looks to say, it was lovely meeting you today, it was lovely meeting you yesterday, not, I don't know if you remember me, I met you a few weeks ago. Like, nah, it doesn't run, my G. Because even when you message them and say it was lovely meeting you today, you might not get a reply. Let alone imagine you're now doing it 2 weeks later, 1 week later, and still expecting that person to actually remember you or care. Like, you need to live off that impact. So yes, you've spoken to the person, they've been interested enough to be like, do you know what? Here's my business card. Here's my email address. Add me on LinkedIn, and they've accepted you. You need to get straight in, and even though I'm saying in these messages you're going to be like, it was lovely meeting you today, that's not it, okay? You can't finish there. It was lovely meeting you today. I've read a lot about your work. I've seen a lot about your work. I've researched a lot about your work. Something along that line. So you start with the pampering stage, you know, like, it was great, you're an amazing person, you're wonderful, blah, blah, blah. Like, you have to gas the thing small, you know what I mean? And most of these people, the only reason you want to talk to them is because they actually are wonderful. So even though it's not really gas, if you get what I'm saying, like, you actually mean it, but you do need to come across quite professional and be like praise someone, give praise where praise is due. And then go in with the, I would love to learn from you, I would love to have a phone conversation, have a meetup. It's like something along those lines. But you cannot listen to me. If I knew how to do the effect where the camera zooms in, I would tell you, you cannot leave it at that. You can't say, I would love to arrange a call with you, I'd love to meet up with you, because then it becomes their reply, yes, that would be great, we definitely should do that. Stereo silence, nothing after that. Nothing again. The one time they reply is going to be the time they reply, so you need to make sure that you have captivated them enough. So after you say, you are a fabulous person, I would love to learn from you in terms of things I'm doing. Are you free next week Tuesday at 4 p.m? And do you know the amazing thing about that? If they are not free next week Tuesday at 4 p.m, what is a natural human thing to do after that? Say, sorry, I'm not free then. How about next week Wednesday at 2 p.m? They will automatically reschedule, and then you're in there, like, you literally, you've I don't know, like you've pinned them up against the wall. Now the next logical thing that they have to do is really like give you their time. If you give someone the opportunity to not take you seriously, then like they just won't. And if you imagine, if it's like, oh, do you know what the best I think I can say is, yeah, sometimes you don't even reply to your friends' text messages. Like literally, sometimes you don't reply to it. And all you people, my lot who went to university outside of London, you know, when you're planning to meet up with someone, these fake meetups where someone will just say, yeah, we should definitely meet up. Oh yeah, we should meet up. Oh, yeah. And you guys haven't seen each other for 2 years. So for real, if you can do that with your actual friends, and you have no ill will to them, but obviously like life is just hard sometimes. If you can do that to your actual friends, let alone now someone who is actually an important person of value, and you're trying to take their time, you need to be persistent. And even if you send that message and don't reply, just, yeah, come on, you go in again 1 week later. Hey, sorry, haven't heard anything back from you. Hope you're okay. Does next week still work for you? Like, literally just keep going on like, yeah, we have an arrangement. Like, we have an arrangement. Can you still make it? And then, yeah, like, because unless they're a really mean person, like, no one is, people are generally very friendly. And unless you yourself don't, like, fight for it, you won't really find anyone who'll be like, no, I'm not doing it. So, 100%, just make sure that's the format of the email. You praise them. You say what you want to gain from them. And not too much. Seriously, not too much. As in, just the small, I would love to learn from you. I would love to, if you could help me with ABC, blah, blah, blah. Like, so praise what you want to gain and the time, date, and location of the meeting. Then they look forward to hearing back from you. And this is really like the follow-up segment, like how to successfully follow up, because, yeah, like the real is the real. If you don't have an effective follow-up, all these connections that you're trying to make, they won't amount to nothing, anything even. And there was even, I remember one girl I was speaking to, and she was like, yeah, I know this person, I know this person, I know this person, I know this person. I said, listen, that doesn't matter. Because unless you can turn these relationships into results and actually make them work for you, what can you actually do? What does it matter if someone knows you but doesn't know your personal brand or what you do? With me, for example, I want people to be like, they're trying to do something in Africa, they're trying to do something in Ghana, they're trying to do something for Black British people. Gillian, straight away. Not, oh yeah, I know Gillian. Like, you know what my face looks like, you know that I'm tall. None of these things are actually going to pay bills for me. You really need people to know your personal brand. And especially that's why you need to be so clever with your social media presence, which shamelessly brings me on to next week's plug. We'll be talking about navigating LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn, go and make one before I make the video next week, okay? Go and make one before I make the video next week. You need a LinkedIn page. And next week I'll be joined by another special guest, and we'll be talking about navigating LinkedIn. And my guest, he's been navigating LinkedIn from way back. Like, I'm sure when he was in year 9, he had 500 plus on LinkedIn. So yes, thank you very much for joining this very, very short what to do next talk. And like I said, go and make a LinkedIn. And if you have a LinkedIn, add me. And next week we'll be talking about navigating through LinkedIn, because it's the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.